Follow the channel and stay tuned for learning videos.
So in the last class, we have seen under Power Platform environment settings how we can control the security, right? We have different concepts, security roles, access teams, owner teams, business units, column security profiles, hierarchy security positions, right? Now today we will be seeing how we will do the auditing, what do you mean by auditing in the CRM, okay? And what is data management. So basically, whenever we are working for any application, we want to know who modified the data, who make the changes, right? Suppose on the same record, multiple people all be working on. Okay, so you are doing some approval, you are doing some rejection, someone else adding some comment within from your team. So you want to know who did that modification. You want to know who is making the changes, what was the change made when, like that. If you want to know, we need to enable this audit history. Okay, if you see for every table, we will have this audit history tab. Under related, you will find the audit history. Okay, so in this audit history, what it will maintain? It will maintain the audit, like what is the previous value, what is the present value, who is modified, when it is modified, like that, everything. Okay, now if you see, let it load, you will understand. Similarly, you can test for any custom entity as well. Now if you see, here you have change rate changed by event, change field, old value, new value. Right now you are unable to see. If you see, I am modifying this Hyderabad, but in the audit history, is it captured? No, right? Why? Because I haven't enabled the audit. So to enable audit, basically we have to do two things. We have three level auditing control is there. One is at organization level, entire organization we have to enable first, then entity level, then field level. Okay, so to enable organization level audit, we will have this global audit settings. Okay, if you open global audit settings, it will open environment in the admin power platform. Now if you see environment, LU2 demo settings auditing, so here this auditing is turned off. That's why you are unable to see. Now I am enabling it. I'm adding log access, read access, retain these logs for. If you want to retain audit for permanently, you have to keep permanent forever. If you want to keep for only 30 days, 90 days, you will be using like this. So in general, we will be keeping forever. Now you enabled it the audit for the organization level. Next thing, you have to enable for entity, whatever the custom entity you want to enable. So you have this case, you have this candidate. So to enable at entity level, we will be using maker portal. So go to your solution, go to your table directly. Either of it works. If you go to from table, you have to look for what is my table name, case, right? So in the table properties, we will be having the audit option. Click on this properties. It will open entire table properties. If you scroll down, we were overlooking, right? This checkbox we are not doing. So audit changes to its data. Now you just saved it. Now this is the second level. First thing you did it at the organization level. Second, you are doing at the table level. The third thing is for the field level also we can control. So under each table we'll have different columns, right? So whenever you are creating a new column or existing column, you have to make sure column audit is enabled for column level as well. If you see enable auditing is there, so it will appear. Okay. Now if you go to the environment, if you see the audit history, if you see I enabled, right? So audit is enabled, entity audit started. Now if you make any changes to this table properties, that will capture. So I'm just changing renewal to come to audit history. See case title, what is the old value, what is the new value. So like this we will be enable. So you need to make sure like what are the columns you need audit, is it enabled or not. So you have to go to respective column and you have to check enable auditing is there or not. Okay. So like this we will control the auditing. Okay. So first you will enable it the archive level, next you will enable it the table level and column level. So if you want to do it for custom entity, it's the same procedure. I just did for case, right? If you want to do it for any other entity, here our custom entity is candidate. So look for candidate table, search for that properties, enable auditing. Then for each field level also you need it, right? So once you enable table level, you have to go to column, what you need, columns. So sorry, sorry, columns, age in years. So it's not enabled. This is calculated, so that's why we are not getting. Okay, application number. This is also auto-generated. I'm not sure whether you will get it or not. Enable auditing is there. So if you create a new record for this candidate as well, name, should give. Now, once you saved it, if you go to audit history, you will have the enter information. Just if you do a refresh, once record is created, LET2, see who created, also you will know who created this record, what are the values he entered. This is for create. After update, if you make any changes, it will capture as a update event. Okay, understood? So you will have the event. So not only the old value, new value. What is the event? Is it the value? Is it in the creator? Is it in the update? Similarly, you will have associate. Okay, so like that you can see everything. Update. So first one is create, second one is update. So like that you will be having the audit information, who modified, when modified, what is the event, everything. So this is about audit settings. Okay. So all these are enable field audit settings. If you click on this one, it will go to respective table and everything. Now we need to know administration. So from here also you can enable auditing. So you can control the what is the calendar you have to use like that. Okay. So if you go to this general administration settings, you will be having some properties. Right now we are not using. We will be using plugin tracelog from here, but we haven't started the code part, right? So we will go there once we started the coding. Okay. So here in the system settings, you will have the what you want to do. Now let's go back to the security we covered. Next, go back to the data management. So what is data management? So you are using Dataverse as a DB for the CRM things, and you want to make some operations, right? You want to work with data significantly. Either it could be a creation of records, either it could be updation of records. You are dealing with records only, right? So in this data management, we have some flexibilities, we have some features. The top features are like this duplicate detection rules and data inputs. Rest all we don't use much, okay? So but still we will understand what we mean by each thing, okay? So in the data management, if you want to detect it, suppose you created my test one record already. Now if you are creating same record one more time, you are giving some other details and you're filling some details. Whenever you are filling this, whenever you're filling this, it is allowing, right? It's not even because with same name you have one more record, still it is creating. It's kind of a duplicate, right? So to detect that kind of thing, we will be using duplication detection rules, duplication settings. Okay. So if you enable this duplication settings, so it is enabled already. Duplicate detects when record is created, when it is updated, during a data input. Select to default duplicate detection. This is enabled. Okay. If you want turn off, you will be turn off. So what I want to do for this table, I want to check whether the name is already exist or not. If name is already exist, I want to show an alert. So for that purpose, you have to create a duplicate detection rule. So these are the out of the box duplicate detection rules for the account table we have. Okay, lead table we have, contact table we have. So if you want to test for contact, we can test quickly. So where do we have contacts from the customer service? You can go to service, customers, contacts. Contacts and customers are same. So if you see, we have this record, Harish and LUT. If I give the same contact again, it will throw a warning. It won't restrict, it will just throw a warning. You see, duplicate records one. you have already existing record is there. Do you want to still save it, or like that it will save? It will ask. Okay, so this is how duplicate detection works. So it won't restrict, it will just give a pop-up. Do you want to continue or ignore and save? If you do ignore and save, it will create a record. So duplicate detection will work for only alerting the user. It won't restrict. Okay. So this is for we have seen for existing table contact. Suppose we want to create a new one. So how do we create? Here we will have the new duplicate detection. So here you have to choose the name of one. So candidate name check. You can give any name. So here I'm giving like the custom table name column check. So here if you want to check for, you can have both same entity or other entity. Now if you see here base record is I want to keep candidate. Okay. Matching record type. What is the other table you want to see? Here also we want to check for candidate only. Okay. Now here what is the column you want to look for? Select attribute name. What you want to do? Exact match, same first character, same last characters. I'm keeping exact match. Okay. So for this ignore blank voids also you can keep. Okay. Case sensitive, exclude inactive matching records. So these kind of settings you can do. Are you able to get? So as we have the same entity, we are getting only base entity column. If you have a different entity, you will get the both columns. Okay. I'm just saving this. So once you save this, you have to publish it to make it work. Because what is that? Candidate. The rule cannot be created or updated because it would cause the matchable length. Data key unique name. It's already created. 1 second. Let's me social profile contact with. Mhm. Cannot be created or updated because it would cause the match code length. So I'm not sure about this error. So what I have to do, we should use some agentic tool, right? So just copy that screenshot, put it here in the Dynamics 365. So Dynamics 365 duplicate detection tool. Means compound fields used in the each field and common goes multiple similar. What is the length of this column? We should check candidate name. This is 450. Let's keep it 400 because it is supporting only. If you see, it supports only typically around 400 characters. That's why it's unable to save it. Let me refresh. So this thing I don't know until I search it in the Google. Until I search it in the ChatGPT. So here also they are not giving any specifications. You have to enter. They are giving a different error. So you are unable to find it out, figure it out, what you need to do. Like and in such scenarios, you can use the this thing. Okay. Now I will try to create save. It's still not saving. Let me do publish this one. Go to solutions. Publish all customization. Done. Now I will do a refresh. Control F5. Select the record name. Select rule exact match. Save. Still it's failing. It would cause the match code length exceed to the maximum limit. Let me try for another column. Email address. I am able to save it, right? Yes. So name is I don't think it's not reflected. But if you see, you can select whatever the attribute. You have to do it within the specific thing. Then you have to publish. So once you do publish, this rule will be activated. So whenever you are creating a candidate table, it will check for the candidate table, this column. Okay. Now if you go on this candidate record, so right now you have this one. I will be using all values different except this email address. Okay. This is also I'm giving randomly. Email address I'm providing the same. Mobile number it is optional. You can give or you don't need to go. Now click. So company URL you have to provide. Now while saving, as you have the duplicate, it is searching with NH. So it is like that. There is this record might be duplicate of one of the records below. Would you like to save it anyway? So like this, it will give a pop-up. So if you want to continue, you will be continue. Otherwise, as you have the already record, you want to open the existing one. You will open the existing one, and you will use that one. You will make the changes, or you will do it like that. It will be helpful. Are you clear, Sanjay? What is duplicate detection? How we will be creating?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, I understood.
Okay, and next, then you have the duplicate detection job. So basically, job means, what do you mean by job? You're giving some task specifically, right? So right now you want to detect how many, because even though you are creating a rule, the system is not restricting the user. So if you want to review the data, how many records are like that, how many duplicates are created, everything if you want to see, you can create a job and you can run it. So for contact example, we are selecting active contacts. So we want to just identifying duplicate contact. So if you want to make it a recurrence job, you can make it for every 30 days you want to run, or for every 1 day, like that you can keep. So right now I'm just keeping one time job. So email options, we want to notify anyone. So we are using contacts and active contacts. Status is equal to active. Save. Now what will happen? The job will run, and it will, if you want, it will generate a report kind of thing, and you can see it in the view duplicates. So now if you see, this job is done already. It has two duplicate contacts. So it will, if you have 10 records, it will show 10 records. If you have two records like for 10 things, it will give you entire thing. For each record in the top list, resolve to in the top list, resolve the duplicate it in the column list, bottom list to refresh it. So if you have to, you can select the same, you can combine, you can merge. Understanding. Now if I do merge, what will happen? A single record will be created. It will convert to a single record. More actions. Select master. So it is combining two records. So this field has some more information, right? So I'm selecting the which has some more information. The selected records are merged, but subordinate record is deactivated. If you go now, you have two contacts, right? But only one will be there if you go back. So earlier, even though we created three, the two got merged. If you go to inactive, one contact will be inactive. This one, because it is combined and it can only one is active. So like that, we will be using this duplicate detection jobs for identifying the duplicate records and for merging. And bulk record deletion. If you want to delete the record, we will be using the records. So this is also kind of a job. So if you want to delete any records by view, you will be deleting. Okay. So mostly we don't delete the records in the CRM, right? That's why we don't use. But it is also similarly, you need to set up what is the title, what is the entity you want to delete, what everything. Okay. Now the next important thing is data import, data maps and data import. So basically, what do you mean by data import? So suppose you have 10 contacts. So you want to modify these three records, or you want to edit some value in these three records, or you want to create some records which are there in the Excel. So in such scenarios, we will be using the data import. Okay. So first thing we will see how to edit. So to modify any value in this contact table, what you have to do, you have to enter, you have to fill it manually by opening the record. But I want to do it for hundreds of records. You can't, it will take large amount of time, right? So to do it manually, instead of manually, to do it from Excel anything, what we will do the Excel import and export. So for that purpose, you have to choose what are the columns you have to keep. So right now, I'm just adding the columns whatever I need. Let's assuming. So let's assume I want to this additional columns. So I want to fill these details. I need to fill these records. So instead of opening manually, I want to do it, right? So select this checkbox. If you select this, here you will have the export to Excel. So once you do export, it will open a Excel file in your machine. You can open it. Now if you see the same columns, everything, the records you got it in Excel. So this is the first name. This is a like that. If you want to change anything here, you can make it. So here I'm just updating the same. I am filling the details in the Excel without opening them manually. Company name I'm updating.
But this is also we are doing it manually only, right?
But in general, you will have the reports from someone else who has the in formatted format. So you will
Okay.
have some people who will be working on the Excel. They will be sharing the Excel directly to you. Now we are doing in general, but in general, there will be different team who will be working on that Excel. They will be sharing. So you
Okay.
will be filling right like that. So if you see, it will take reverse month, year, month and date, not like our Indian. Okay, you can fill this, and but also you can fill something. So now you just filled it over at changes. Now you modified the properties what you want to change. Now what you want to do, you want to update this, you want to make these changes in the CRM, right? So for that purpose, you have to go back to CRM, go back to imports. Here you have the active import data. Choose file. Okay, I'm just choosing my active contacts. Who want to be the owner? Do you want to update on behalf of or you want to use some other alias? You can pick it up here. Usually we'll do with our own login. Then it will ask for mapping. Allow duplicates. If you check like this one, it will allow. Otherwise, it will give a error. Okay. Now here mapping. So in the Excel format, as we are downloading it from CRM and we are re-importing. But in general, I said right, different people will working on. They will be sharing in Excel different from different area. So that time we have to map the columns for which Excel column we should map for which CRM field. Getting so in right now as we downloaded from the CRM, we have the exact column name, exact column names as in the CRM. But in general, outside people will be preparing the Excel, they will be sharing, right? So in that scenarios, you will have a different columns. So instead of first name, they will say FN. So that time you need to map first name to the FN. So in this mapping thing, you will be doing the default automatic mapping, entity mapping. You have to choose what is the entity you are and last name with last name. So this is the CRM, this is the Excel, anniversary with anniversary. So everything is matching because we did it from the CRM only. Okay. Now click on next. Continue. So once this job will be submitted, you can keep refresh it to know the status. So it will be parsing status, it will be imported status. At the end, you should have three succeeded. Then only you could see the changes, errors. You got three errors. So to know the errors, you have to go here. You have to check the failures. What is the failure reason? The lookup record couldn't resolve. So the company name, whatever you are filling, you have given SNAQ, this company name. Is it a lookup? Yeah. So company name, where it is. So account name is nothing but a company name, I guess. 1 second. So as if you see, if you look for account name, advanced, do you have SNAQ in the accounts? You don't have it, right? That's why it's unable to map it. So what I do, I will just create the account name with SNAQ. So you are asking, right, what is quick create? This is a quick create form. We will tell later. Mhm. Save it. So if you click on this SNQ, you will be having a record. Now you will have a SNAQ account, whatever you fill. So company name, this is the right. Now let me try to re-import. I just want to check the local preference current resolved column heading. So go back to data management, go back to imports, import data, select the same Excel. Click on next, next, mapping. So if you want to avoid any table also, any column also, you can choose ignore the column mapping. See company lookup preference for lookup preference for field company name like this account. It will search for with account. So here we have given the account name as SNEQ, right? Where is it? Account name. Now it will find the record. Email, full name not mapped. If you want to ignore, you can keep ignore. For this company name also, if you want to ignore, you can ignore. Okay. Click on next. Click on finish. Now refresh the things. One error, one partial error, errors. Okay. So one is succeeded, one is partial failure. So you can see everything. If you do hundreds of records, you can see how many are succeeded. you can't, because the record was updated. A record was created or updated because partial failure. Why it is partial? C0 big partial failure. Success. Which record is succeeded? So this is succeeded. So if you go back to thing, you will know how many. So for only one of this only I could see. Why you are not unable to do it for see business phone anniversary, these are filled. So if you see here what it is saying in the failures, you can't import data to this record because the record was updated in the Microsoft Dynamics 365 after it is exported. So make sure whenever you want to update, no one should touch this record until, because in this Excel import, if you see column from D only, right? In the behind the scenes, you will have the hidden columns. So if you select unhide, you see some rows, right? So these rows are like it will have the information about a record. What is the column, row checksum, modified on. So suppose if you are modifying after exporting, if you are modifying, this will be changed, right? So while importing, it will fail like that. This record is already modified. Whatever error you are getting it, like that you will be getting. So to modify any records, you should make sure like no one is touching until you re-import again from the export. Getting? So, and the first column, this contact is there, right? These are the GUIDs of the record. Unique identifier that contact record. Okay. Any questions? So to know the GUID of the contact, yesterday we have seen that tool, right? Level up. If you click on this one, if you open any record, if you look for here GUID, you will find it E8. So in the Excel, do you have E8? It's there. So this is the record ID. Getting? So like this, we will be doing the updating to the existing record. Suppose if you want to create a new record, new hundreds of records from a first time instead of updating. So that time also we will be using data import feature only. The only thing the difference is you will be creating you won't have the GUID right that time. So its record is not there, the CRM means you don't have the GUID. So you have to fill this the rest of the columns. Okay, first name, full name, company. Let's fill this for. So you will be having this one. Last name will be there. So like this, if you want to fill, so you like this, you will be someone is giving the records, you will be checking the fields, and you should save this Excel as a CSV format. Okay, not in Excel. So if you see here, you should click on this Excel workbook. You should save this CSV comma delimited. So then only it will create a records. So to update records, you will be using excel.xx format. To delete it, to create it, you have to use the CSV. I just saved it. Sorry. Now let's go back to data management. Go to imports. do a new job, import data, choose a file, create contacts CSV, click on next. See here, create contact is selected. So duplicates detects allow duplicates because we have duplicate detection rule on email. So you have to allow it. Click on next. So here again it will ask for map. Either it for the importing fresh record or updating record. Default mapping. So here if you want to see what is the entity. Earlier time the table and everything is coming automatically. But now you have to choose what is the entity you want to map. Because you are completely using the outside of Excel, right? Outside Excel. So that's why you have to choose what is the entity you want to map and what are the columns you want to map. Everything you have to choose. We have two columns. Company name is mapping, entity is mapping, email is mapping, first name is mapping. So if you want to change anything, you can change it. So these are the CRMs, these are the Excel. Okay. Now I'm clicking on the next. Finish. So we have 10, 15, right? Around 16 records we have. Transforming, importing, total processing. Here you could see the detail. Success, partial failures. 16 succeeded. Means 16 contracts would be created. Go back to contacts from here. See, contacts are created. Earlier we have 2 or 3 only. Now we have 16 added. So total 18 is there. Getting so like this we will be creating the records from external Excels. If you want to update the bulk records also, you will be using the this Excel. Any questions? So this is critical important thing only we will be using in regular day-to-day development as well to update any records bulkly more than 1 or 2. If you want to do it in bulk operations, you will be using this data inputs. Okay, now let's go back to the so data maps we have, right? This is nothing but a having a mapping file. You don't need to work that much. So instead of selecting the fields every time, you will be choosing, you will be creating a mapping file, everything. Okay, this is not required. So templates for data import. So this is also all are come under other for this import only. Okay. Now this data encryption, export field translations, these are not needed because we will be using, if you use multiple languages in your CRM translations, you have to upload translations. So what do you mean by for this full name? What is the full name in Germany? If you want to have this CRM in the different language, that time. So if you want to have a, you should have a translation, right? So that translation you will be uploading from the import field translation like that. So like this, you will be in this data management section, you will be controlling entire data related operations. Okay. So important here are like import thing and duplicate detection rule. Rest all okay. Good to know, but not mandatory. Any questions?
No worries.
Okay. Well, tomorrow we will be doing the solution